Hey everybody, Brian here from Engage with Kids. Stick around because in just a minute, we're going to meet a couple who have a 1-year-old baby, and we're going to learn more about what it was like for them to become dads, a little bit about their journey to fatherhood, and talk more about GWK Academy's mentor program, which they are both in. So let me see. That must be them right now.
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
all right. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're alive.
You are, and you've got Blake with you.
Yeah, Blake, this is Blake.
Can I say hi?
It's close to his bedtime, so he's a little,
You, oh, what a cutie. Now, tell me the truth. Does everyone want to pinch his cheeks?
Yeah. These giant cheeks.
Oh, what a cutie. Hi. How are you? Oh, that's awesome. There we go. We got a great smile. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Eric and Cliff, do you want to thank you so much for bringing Blake? That's awesome. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about you guys.
Sure, I'm Eric, and this is my husband, Cliff.
Yeah.
And this is our son, Blake. He just turned 1 year old. And so we went through the whole surrogacy process we started maybe about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're here with our son. We live in Irvine, California. And what else do you want to say?
Yeah. Our journey started with a whole lot of research. We both were joking. We felt like we were back in high school health class, like learning all about the reproductive system. And
Oh, yeah.
it's like feels like a whole subcontracting process with all the different players involved. So we did almost a year of research on, just on like touching on the different topics involved in surrogacy. So, yeah.
And this is why we're so grateful to have you guys as part of GWK Academy. And I want to get to that in a second. But first, tell us about what's the first year of, so often talking to people, either they're just about to become dads or they're just getting, we don't get to talk to someone who's been for a year. What was it like? Tell us first of all, what was it like bringing Blake home from the hospital?
Oh, we had quite a story bringing back from the hospital. We actually, our surrogate lived in Texas, and we're from California, and so it was a little bit of a journey, bringing him back. But it became really special. So we spent the first 4 days in Texas. He had something that's called Coombs disease. It's kind of where their blood and the blood from the surrogate kind of mix, and so we had to do a little bit of blue light, and so we had a little bit of a tricky process in the beginning, but he ended up it all resolved really fast. And it was the best 4 days of our life. We joke around, we couldn't sleep all 4 days because we felt like if we woke up, we'd wake up from a dream, and he wouldn't be there. So we just kind of kept ourselves awake, and we were like zombies. So the flight was kind of interesting. It was at the tail end of COVID. So it was an interesting journey back home. We were fearful of everything, but it all worked out quite well. And then the minute that we got home, it all fell into place.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So once you came home, I understand you've got we always talk about how it takes it takes a village not only to raise a family, but also to create one. But I hear you have a village around you guys. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Eric's family lives locally. My family lives, about 2.5 3 hours flight away. So Eric's whole family's within 45 minutes of us, and he has a big family that is really involved, and we have a lot of really close friends that we consider family that were cheering us along, supportive along the way. Some are already parents, that were really helpful with like all the gear, navigating all the different things to buy, and providing clothes and things like that as well, hand-me-downs for him. So yeah, we came home to a giant. It felt like a parade of celebration and support.
Yeah, and some of our best friends just had babies, so they actually, my best friend, she produced milk for us for his whole first year.
Oh, wow.
So we got lucky that way. So she had her baby 1 week before us, and so we were able to kind of raise them like twins. And so she was a big part of this village. We got really lucky on that end.
I have no idea how that all works, but she did not have twins. She had a singleton, I presume.
She had a singleton, and he's the twin of her baby.
But I guess milk is being used is how much she produces. Is that Is that right?
So she overproduced this time. The first round she underproduced, and then for her first child, and then this time she overproduced. So we were able to rely on her and a few other really generous friends of ours that supplemented his breast milk for the first year.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I've not heard of anyone that could do that.
Yeah.
How have you found, do you both work?
Yes, we both work full time.
How do
So
you
that's
find,
interesting.
yeah, how do you juggle work and being a dad? Being a couple.
It's
Well, a lot of it comes with like understanding each other and communicating a lot about our needs. But like, I think, you know, all along since we've met, Eric's been a really light sleeper, and I can sleep through a train wreck. So it naturally works really well for me to, you know, take night shifts because I can take care of him and I can zombie right out as my head hits the pillow, whereas Eric would be up for hours and hours. So I think figuring things like that out with our daily rhythms like has allowed us to be able to get what we still need, you know. But I definitely feel like I know him better than I've ever known him since we met. You need each other so much in the beginning that, like, I don't know, we fall more in love during this time because we realized how much we lean on each other and love each other.
That's Eric. We hear actually a lot, Cliff. We hear that all the time. Become dads, they fall in love all over again, or more deep than they had been. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together for how long?
Coming up on 8 years.
He's better with logistics. I kind of forget something. We've been together for 8 years and we've been married for 3.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So now I want to get one that stuck to me when we first featured you guys was, I think you mentioned relying on friends who had become dads to help you on your own journey. You talked about that. You did a lot of research for you. You talked to people, etc. So I'm wondering, like, what could you explain how that helped you segue to how you're now GWK Academy?
Yeah, so we were paired with friends of friends, so 2 couples that we had met through friends that recommended that we speak with them.
Cool.
And we met 2 couples that had very different experiences. You know, one of them had their embryo split and they had triplets, and then and everything kind of happened really fast for them. Whereas the other couple, you know, things progressed a little bit slower. They had some obstacles along the way, and so kind of talking to those 2 different couples and hearing their stories really helped us to kind of realize that this could be real. You know, it doesn't feel real and tangible until you actually talk to somebody who's been through it. And I think that was really helpful in our journey. Aside from all the logistics, you know, they helped us kind of map out some of the parts of the technicalities of the process. But just talking to them and seeing how eager they were to help us out and how happy they were for us. And now in reverse, feeling that way for other people who are going through the process. It's kind of like a 360.
I love that. I think they quoted, it didn't feel real to people you could relate to.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick commercial interruption here. For those who don't already know, GWK Academy is our app to help gay and queer men become dads. And one of the great benefits of enrolling is you get to be matched with mentored dads. The folks who've gone through the process much more recently than me. My kids are now 12 and almost 14. Dads like you guys, Carlos and Eric, and so Cliff and Eric. And so we're delighted that you guys have agreed to become mentors for us. And I also just want to mention, you guys in Love Surrogacy in San Diego Fertility?
Yes, and they were awesome. Yeah, we had a great experience with both of them.
Great. So I will say that, you know, at GWK Academy, we have a small exclusive network of family building partners that we work closely with. They help create all the content in the GWK Academy Surrogacy and IVF, and they're participating in live. And it just so happens that SLS, Same Love Surrogacy, and San Diego Fertility are both part of that small group of exclusive group of surrogacy and IVF family building partners. So
Awesome.
if you guys are interested in learning how we can help you out, connected with Eric and Cliff and meeting different building partners, just look for the GWK Academy app. All right, sorry for the commercial interruption. Back to you.
I love it.
So I have a question. What would you recall? What was the best advice you think you guys got before you were dads?
The best advice that we got from in general or from our mentors?
General.
Gosh, to breathe. I think we're both type A personalities, so we plan everything very far ahead. We were even thinking of like what our child was going to call us when he was born, before he was even conceived. So kind of breathing, taking things slow. You know, you can Google everything that you want. You can think of every variable, but it doesn't always work out exactly how you're going to plan it. And once it comes, it all makes sense. So I think breathing, taking it slow. You know, of course, being proactive, but trusting the process in a sense.
All right, Cliff, do you have anything to add?
I feel like every baby's so different. So one of our friends said to just you know, everybody seems to come out of the woodwork and give you advice as soon as they know you've got a baby on the way. And so one of our friends said to just take it all with a grain of salt and grab it when you need it. So I mean, one that worked well for him was people said to not be quiet around the house while he was sleeping initially. And so, like, to get him used to sleeping. So now he can sleep through our dogs barking.
We're vacuuming.
Probably not the case for a lot of kids, but that was some helpful advice.
So I'm guys watching heard both what Eric and Cliff have to say, but they were great. And I think it's worth repeating. One is breathe, slow down. It's not going to all go perfectly. Sleep. Worry about being quiet around the house. Otherwise, you'll have kids that can only fall asleep with. And trust me, you do not want to.
No, yeah. It's nice if you know a truck drives by or we need to vacuum while he's sleeping and we can't now. So yeah,
that's awesome. All right, so now because you guys have been matched with a couple of different folks, do you want to talk about that experiences when you're talking to someone who says, "Hey, we're about to travel down that same artery. What kind of questions, what advice do you offer?"
I think it's just meeting people where they're at, you know. It's such a incredible journey to embark on, even researching, you know. And so some people are just at the, you know, at a stage where there's just a lot to do. It's kind of like, you know, it's not gonna. I was talking to another couple and I was asking if they wanted to have kids and they said, "We'll see if it happens." And I'm like, it doesn't just happen this way. And so, so I think, you know, there's a lot to do. And I think we just meet people kind of where they're at and listen to some of their fears. I think a lot of it's been like some fears that people might have. And hopefully we can help, you know, comfort them with those. What else? Like in terms of approach or what questions people have initially?
Yeah, just to remember that everybody's individual, you know, that everybody has their own experiences. And so some things might be available to one couple that aren't available to the other. And so kind of hearing their story before offering advice, I think is the first thing. I think kind of like segueing to what I said initially, you know, like just them seeing that it could happen and that it's real. If that's the only impact that you have on the couple, then that's enough for me.
That's great. I love it. So, all right, anything about being dad to a 1-year-old?
I didn't hear that question.
What are you guys experiencing that's new these days?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
Oh, yeah. What are you experiencing that's new these days?
Oh, that's
new
these days. Well, he's more mobile. We took him for so we were kind of wild, and we took him for a flight on a trip when he was about 5 months old.
Yeah.
And that was like easy breezy because he was sleeping the whole way through, and you know, we had a really good time. We tried to take him again recently at 10 months old. Yeah, that was the longest flight of our life. It was a short flight, but it was the longest flight of our life. You know, it gives us a lot of memories to look back on and laugh about. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like parents have this understanding, you know, of each other for having like a 1-year-old or a kid that's more mobile. That and you think that people are like complaining about him or that it's like you know, but you think that even more than people actually do. And everybody was so gracious with us. So yeah, having a mobile kid is way different. It's really exciting. But as exciting as it is, it's also sad because you see the time's flying by really fast. Yeah.
This way, that happens more than you'd like to think, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. You were talking about you what he's going to call you. So I'm curious. I love to ask that. I call this the name game. What did you
Yeah.
guys go with?
What did we go with, Cliff?
What is
What are you going to call us?
Oh, we're gonna let him come up with it. Initially, our thought is for me to be called Dad. We didn't use my genetics. We used Eric's. So that was an idea Eric had to help, like, I don't know, just some sort of connection. But
You had to let him pick what he wanted to be called first, and
Yeah.
he chose Dad. So ultimately, Dad and Pop would be kind of what we want to go for. But it's so funny because he just calls us whatever he wants to call us, and we have 1,000 names for him too. So he's like, he's Miffy, he's Blakey, he's something. So we kind of feel like with kids with personality, especially like based on our personalities, he'll probably call us a lot of things. But Dad and Papa are probably what we're going to go for. David sticks.
All right, I love
now he calls us both Dada, and he also calls Grandma Dada.
We're all Dada.
Yeah.
if we stay on long enough, he'll call me Dada. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, we were at the second annual Gay Dad spring break, Gay Dad Family Vacation spring break a month ago, and a family from the LA area came, and they had a 1-year-old baby girl. And I held her for a couple of hours in total. And I kept looking at my husband like, what do you think? So it's great to talk to you guys. It's great to meet you guys on video or virtually, however you call this, in person. Thank you so much for joining us, for sharing your family. Thank you again for being a part of GWK Academy, volunteering your time and to help the next gay guys who want to become dads, and for being a part of this. Any parting words?
Thank you for all you guys do for the community, bringing visibility to different types of families, and we're all about it, and we're so happy and thankful.
Yeah, absolutely, and
excited for the future. Excited to see more families. Excited to see more varieties in families, and see, yeah.
Absolutely. If you put your mind to it and you have the desire in your heart, that it's completely possible, and there's a whole tribe of people, that are cheering you on and happy to help support.
And we'll be mentors to you all. Our hearts are big enough for everyone.
And folks, for watching from Gays with Kids, if they follow you guys on Instagram and check out and see more about what your life was like. That cool?
Awesome.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for everyone being here. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.